Well, hello, good people and Eagle fans. I see Logan Motorsport is already in the house. I just got back here to the man cave, and I've got to do the Dan Selio show. He said he'll get me off at 4. I was like, I don't swing that way, bro. I don't swing that way. So let me go ahead and enter the studio. It's been a busy, busy day. We got Isaac here. We got Logan Motorsports. Balvic, what's up? What's up? What's up? Okay, let's enter the studio here.
4-5. He missed out on $54 million versus 11.
Oh, wrong
to
one.
Jordan Davis.
Okay, hang on.
You got a D coordinator in Philadelphia doing this. I'm going to pass on that question on why he wasn't in shape at the beginning of the year.
Uh-oh.
For the Eagles to be great this year,
Oop.
Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter have to be exceptional.
Yes, they do.
Man, the worst thing I would ever want to hear is a D coordinator going, and figure this out. A media guy doing this. Coach, why did it take Jordan Davis to get into shape the last 7 games of the year? Well, I'm going to pass on that. Yeah, I'm not going to answer that question. He answers the question by not answering the question. You don't need rocket science to figure that out. And by the way, was anybody else not in shape on that defense? Carter was in shape.
Okay.
Fuck, that guy played great from week 1 to week 20. He was great from week 1 to week 20. That guy was. Wasn't like the year ago in 23 when he fell off the planet like the other fat guy did. He excelled this year. Shit, you had Zach Bond playing multiple
I'm just
positions.
sitting here waiting.
You had guys all over the field.
I don't even know what the subject
that were
is.
so. Do you know what kind of shape you have to be? You know why he's probably pissed off that Fat Body Davis wasn't in shape? You know why?
Why?
Because every guy on that team is a fucking 3-down player except him. Because why? He's not conditioned.
Ooh.
I mean, get in shape, dude. God knows how good he could be. Here's the disappointing thing to hear.
What is the disappointing thing? I like hearing that with him.
If he laid off the White Castle burgers. That tells you that he may have more ability than Jalen Carter. Okay? Yeah.
But
hey, here's the difference, dickbag.
Ooh.
I'm 60.
Damn.
He's 23
today.
11% body fat when I was 23 years old. I enjoy being fat now. I carved this body.
You enjoy being a fat ass.
Perfectly.
A fat ass and a loud mouth.
That's how I do it, baby.
Welcome, everybody. There's Holly Pierce. What's going on? Young
Just
star.
like my boy Philly 500.
Hey, I've lost a few pounds lately.
So wait a minute here. Battle Royale. By the way, these guys here, these 2 guys and these 2 freaks that we have here have now spawned another Battle Royale. Are you ready? Angelo Cataldi and Howard Eskin have agreed to do a Battle Royale right here on this program. Okay? We'll get to the supers, I promise you guys, after this segment. All right. Cowboys. Holy cow. You should have seen the text message me and Xander got on Mark having meltdowns. Without further ado, let's bring the dudes in here. And this is Battle Royale. It is Mark Holmes who's looking forward to further ado. Let's bring the dude when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys and also the legend, the man, the champ, Philly 500. He joins us now here.
What's up?
How you guys doing, man?
Doing great. Great.
I'm kicking. I just don't know what to expect, man. You know, at some point I get tired of taking shit. And so I gotta stand up for my team and so on. You loudmouth fat ass. That's what you like being these days, right?
I think he's talking to you, Sills, because he ain't talking to me.
Wait a minute.
You said you're chiseled 300 fat ass.
Hey, Sills, did you hear the latest reason why Dak has only won 2 playoff games?
Oh, Lord.
Because the water boy, they didn't have enough water boys. They didn't get his H2O. He did not have
high
the
quality
right amount
H2O.
of H2O.
He needs high quality H2O.
H2O, man, was bad H2O.
Quality hydration is
whatever his
important.
name was. Wait a minute. The guy Bobby, what's his name on Waterboy?
Bobby Boucher.
Bobby Boucher.
Yeah.
They didn't have a Bobby Boucher.
I like boobies.
Boucher. Another reason why Dak didn't win. You can't blame him if he doesn't have H2O. You know, might get cramps. Let's throw another interception.
I got
another interception.
high quality
Mark
H2O.
Shit. One fat ass talking
Hydration
to
is
another
important.
fat ass. This guy's so full of it. Let me tell you something. This guy baits Eagle fans all week long with his ridiculous videos. I sent you links to his ridiculous videos. And then when people come at him or respond, he goes, "Hey, what are you bothering me for? I'm just a Cowboy fan."
I am. I'm over here on MySpace.
Trying to produce
Relax.
content.
Look, I get fake Philly 500s coming in and trolling me. Okay, it's bad enough that I got the real Philly 500 coming in, and you Eagle fans, listen, you Eagle fans are going balls deep that, you guys are the greatest thing since Joe Montana and the San Francisco 49ers, that you're going to win the next 10 straight Super Bowls, that, nobody can touch you.
Who said that?
Y'all do. But although I think you're scared to say that you're going to beat the Cowboys come September 4th.
No, we're going to beat the Cowboys. September 4th, we're going to beat the Cowboys.
Can I pencil it down? Is there a bet?
Yeah, you're going to beat the Cowboys. Sure, we'll make a bet.
Okay. Hey, Philly, how many videos after the program will we see that you now have put a proclamation down that you believe that the Eagles are going to win on September 4th?
I mean, is that surprising? What Eagle fan thinks is not going to win? Of course I think they're going to win.
Who?
Of course.
Why are you feeling so confident, Mark?
I didn't say I was confident. I'm just saying that I get, believe me, half of my fan base are Eagle fans that come in here. They just literally come in here just talking shit. I can't even get my regular program on, because I'm sitting here fighting off these guys because they're always telling me about how, say you're going to beat us. You guys suck. Dak is a choker. Your coach is an idiot. Jerry Jones is 8,000 years old and everything else. And it's like, okay, if y'all are so confident, why don't you say we going to kick your ass September 4th?
We're going to kick your ass September 4th.
Oh, shit.
Oh, there it is.
You finally said it. I thought you were scared.
No.
Double. Oh.
We're going to double moonwalk that ass.
Okay.
Look at him moonwalk.
And you should, because, the Cowboys, we got a new coach. Of course, we got the worst quarterback in the history of the NFL in Dak Prescott.
Well, it's regular season.
The only reason why they have Dak Prescott is they're doing charity work, because it's hire a kid to be quarterback.
You got to bring the pressure down, right, Mark?
There's Micah Parsons, who's overrated.
You don't want him to have to choke.
George Pickens, who's a cancer. Okay.
Oh, you see?
Okay. There's Mozzie. I wish I was Jordan Davis. Right.
This is what he does.
Hey, this is Lou Holtz stuff like this. I don't know how we're gonna
high quality H2O.
No idea how we're gonna do this. No idea how we're gonna beat him.
Mark is that kid at school who bullies another kid, and then he gets hit in the face, and he goes, "I don't know why he punched me. I don't know why he hit me back."
No.
Hey,
shit.
Hey, Philly.
You look at all the videos he does.
Knock it off, Philly. I wish I had a battery. Okay, I put a battery up here. Knock it off. I dare you.
Your arm not working?
Hey, Mark. I don't think people understand the reference unless you're our age.
Robert Conrad.
Old,
go ahead. Knock it off. I dare you.
I'm old. I don't even know what the hell he's talking about. Hey, Sills, I did want to say, though, I heard about your little battle royale you guys got going on. What do you get?
Oh, you guys inspired it.
Well,
is there a royalty for this?
Is it going to be like a whole day? Is it like the main event with
No. You know what I
undercards?
should do? I should put you two guys on because you guys started this shit.
We'll be the undercard.
So
I just want to know, is there a paycheck involved?
Look at you, man. Always like a Dallas Cowboy, isn't he?
Hey.
Always like a Dallas Cowboy, never worried about
we put the fans in the stands, okay? Let's be true.
Yes.
It's not that you love me being here. It brings the fans to the stands, bro. Come on.
Such a cowboy.
Okay.
Such a Dallas Cowboy comment right there, man. Right there. No, you are Mark Prescott from now on.
Hey, I wish I had his money.
You're Mark Prescott.
Look at that. Did you see him light up?
He's got paid and he's making babies. And he's building a new mansion. They just broke ground on it. So, you know what? I wouldn't mind being that guy.
Mark's eyes just got real wide. He was like, oh, my God.
Mark Prescott.
I'm a Prescott.
Billy, I got a question for you out of the gate. Speaking of fat asses here, I got to tell you what a guy made a comment on a fat ass. When asked at the press conference, why did it take Jordan Davis to get in shape towards the end of the year? He went like this. I'm going to pass on that because I could be here all day. That, to me, is a sign of lack of commitment to the game. When you're not in shape, when you start the season out, nobody on that Eagle defense was not in condition. I mean, and I'm hearing good things, Philly. Clint Hurt told me he's in fabulous shape. The $11 million that he got, if I'm him, I'm not happy about that because the Eagles like to give contract extensions, not 50-year options. That's a wait and see. Your whole take on that when Vic kind of called it out a little bit that he wasn't really ready to play last year.
I mean, we've been talking about this with Jordan Davis for 2 years, Sills. I mean, how many times have we talked about he's got to be better conditioned? He's got to be better. I mean, I've said it over and over again. Not surprising. I think Jordan Davis, I think it may be a maturity thing. Like, he's one of those guys like,
too many damn donuts.
And eggnog. Me and him were pounding eggnog, but that's a whole nother story. But like, I had a friend that was in school, like he was the smartest kid in class. He didn't study. He would read books, do other things, and he would get the highest grades. As soon as he got to college where he had to put work in, he had a problem. He couldn't do it because he never had to apply himself. I think with Jordan Davis, maybe, being so big and so talented, he never really had to apply himself to be, taking care of himself and making sure he's conditioned enough. Now he's got to do that at the NFL. I don't look at it as like a horrible thing. I look at it as like we're talking about like at least it seems like he's figuring it out. And that's the good thing.
It is. Mm-hmm. To you, Mark, who's Brian Schottenheimer?
Who's playing Schottenheimer? What do you mean?
Who is he? Who is he?
Well, I tell you what, your buddy, Michael Irvin, who, we were supposed to get together, with Michael Irvin and stuff, who...
Life is still working for us here, Hoss. Okay, there's no time.
Well, he went off when the Cowboys hired Schottenheimer, and he looked at it and said, you lost an opportunity. You should have went out there and got prime time and everything. And, he basically said that this is just another internal hiring, another yes man. Until last week, when he ended up going to the facilities and spending time with them during OTAs.
I saw that.
And Michael Irvin has done a 180, and it seems like, one, he's embracing the Cowboys past and the legend players. He's looking for accountability, and he's looking to motivate guys. So you feel like there's a lot more energy in the building right now. Now, of course, energy is great when you're wearing a helmet and shorts, and you're not really hitting. When you get down there in fourth quarter and you're getting your ass handed to you, things are a little bit differently about that energy and stuff. But right now, he seems to be really good at motivating the players and getting to know them. He actually spends time having dinner with them, and he says it's not always just about football. It's really getting to know the individual because, as you know, everybody's a little bit different, and you have to figure out what motivates one player versus another.
Absolutely. I mean, I text Mike. Mike's had a 360 on the guy here. Philly, I got one for you here. I saw him
You
I
know,
saw
it sounds like
360. You mean 180, don't
real
you?
quick. It sounds like Dallas was looking for one Nick Sirianni. Sounds like you're looking for a Nick
I'm looking for a
Sirianni.
Howie Roseman.
Woo-hoo, I bet you are.
I'll bet. Yeah, no, that is what you need. There, it's more. You don't need Nick Sirianni, Mark.
I need
you
Howie
need
Roseman.
Howie Roseman.
Yeah.
That's the guy you need.
Mm-hmm.
All right, for you, Philly. I heard Emmanuel Acho. I heard him say that there were 2 questions, and I hated his questions that you had to have if you're going to repeat as Super Bowl champions. What's the 2 questions you want answered that you think you have to know early on in the season if this team has enough to win a Super Bowl? What are the 2 issues that, for you want to know and answer quickly if this team gets a shot to get back to Santa Clara?
I think to me it would be the defensive line and the safety position. I think those are the 2 positions. I'm pretty confident with what we have offensively. I believe I know what to expect from that. But I do think you have questions at the safety position, and then you have a lot of young guys. Now, a lot of young guys that I think are going to be very good, and I think they're going to answer the questions. But I do think that we've got to see them on the field. You don't have Sweat. You don't have Milt Williams. So if that defensive line is playing well, especially to me, the interior of that defensive line, if they're good, that's the key to the whole defense. Mm-hmm. I think the whole defense will follow. So I think those would be mine.
Mark, for you,
mm-hmm.
How much are you going to get out of Mark? How much are you going to get out of Miles Sanders? Are you expecting anything out of Miles Sanders?
I'll be real with you. At some points, I'm questioning, is he still on the roster? Because, I hear about Jaden Blue all the time. I hear about Javonte Williams and things. I don't actually hear a lot about Miles Sanders. So I don't know how much we'll get. I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure who the rotation is. You don't think he
makes the team? You don't think he makes the team?
I'm not sure that he does. When you're looking at it right now, as the coach put it, he said, with running backs, you really just don't know anything until you put the pads on, which is true. Everybody looks great in shorts and a helmet, in OTAs. You're not going to hear anything bad about anybody in OTAs. So until you really put the pads on, you have to see who the cream of the crop is. I'm not expecting a whole lot out of Miles Sanders, although playing for Carolina last year, they were an ass team with no offense.
Now, they were, but believe me, they got a 4th-ranked O-line. Okay? That O-line was not horrible. I mean, they got inconsistency in the quarterback play, so we'll see what he does if he can even make the team in Dallas or Philly. I'll tell you, one thing I do dig about Vic Fangio is that guy is honest. When he's asked the question, you know what? If you're Bob Lang and you're the Eagle guys, this guy's saying shit that I've never heard any other coach on that staff say. And when asked about Nakobe Dean and Jahad Campbell, he doesn't seem very high. They're going to be in training camp at all, and they're going to be probably ready around the beginning. August is not going to cut it.
He said that Campbell. He said Campbell will be ready for camp.
I didn't hear that. I heard him say.
I'm pretty sure that's what he said. That he'd be ready.
He said
for
August.
Camp.
August is.
Well, that's preseason.
That's at the end. He was talking about. Now I heard it different. I didn't think he said that he would be ready for somewhere in training camp. He'd be ready around August. Isn't that the exhibition season?
Yeah. Preseason starts then. I took it as he's going to be ready for camp. That's what I thought he said. But the one thing that was bad news coming out was hearing Nakobe Dean's further away. It makes sense why they took Jahad Campbell even more, right? I mean, because there's legitimate questions. I like Nakobe Dean. I thought he really came on last year. I hope the kid is okay. But that's one of those things. Injuries are the hardest thing to predict and know. You just don't know.
Here's something that I took away. Mark, listen to what they said. I mean, this guy, Vic Fangio, man, I mean, they asked the question about him potentially being an edge rusher. And he goes, no. We're playing him at inside linebacker. And anybody who was under the notion that they drafted that guy to be an edge rusher, Vic put that to bed. He was asked it 3 times. He goes, no, we're going to play him at inside linebacker. They drafted that guy to take the spot of Nakobe Dean. Either that or Zach Bond. There's only 2 spots in there. Mm-hmm. So you're not going to draft the guy 31, Philly, and call him a rotation player. So, I mean, and he was pressed for the question when he asked, they go, are you going to play him outside? He goes, I don't know. But right now we're playing him and giving him drills on inside. Kind of hard to figure out what he is right now until you see him on the field.
Yeah, I think that, to me, it's a refreshing because so many times I've seen Howie, especially in round one, where he's tried to go fit a guy into a position of need. I'm a big believer that, especially in round one, because you just don't know, just go best player available. Take the best talent and figure it out later. And that's what I thought they did with Jahad Campbell. They thought this guy, whether they're right or wrong, Sills, they were trying to get up for a long time. So they obviously thought this guy was good. So I've got to trust that now, and I'm okay with it. I hope Dean is okay, though. And if he is, that'll create an interesting situation. Now, can Jahad Campbell be a pass rusher? Will it be part-time? Will they move him around? Will they try to use him like Cowboys used Micah early on? I don't know, but it's a good problem to have if both come back, if Dean comes back healthy.
I want to do something here, and again, this is not my take. I'm going down here, and Mark, what do you make of PFF?
Pro Football Focus?
Yeah.
It's a tool. Sometimes they're spot on. Sometimes they're just way off. Sometimes I feel like they do things, of course, for reaction. Typically when you got the Cowboys, okay, and you can say what you want about Dak Prescott, but there's no way in the world that he is the 17th rated quarterback and that you're going to have Kyler Murray or the Prince down there in Jacksonville or Geno Smith ahead of that guy. 2 years ago, he was an MVP runner-up, okay? Those other guys have never been anywhere close to 35, 36, or 37 TDs in a season. Just haven't. So, it's a tool. It's I wouldn't go to the bank with what they say.
Okay. So let me read you what they say about the Cowboys and what they say, and tell me if you think you believe Philly or you believe what and again, this is not me talking here.
Uh-oh.
This
I haven't
is
seen
Pro
okay.
Football. Okay.
Go ahead, give it to me. Give it to me.
Dallas Cowboys, strength, pass rush. Dallas ranked fourth in the NFL in pass rush. Okay. Despite Micah Parsons missing 4 football games due to injuries, Parsons is part of a.
This is for last year or this?
Yeah, this is for 24. For 24.
He did have 53 sacks last year.
And they said it's one of the best part of the football team.
Yes.
They said the biggest weakness is Dallas's performance in the run defense was among the NFL's worst.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
Okay. This is, again, Pro Football. They said the linebacker play was not very good. Now they said this. The X factor, Prescott is the prime bounce-back candidate for the NFL after earning a career-low 67.2 PFF passing grade in 8 games last season. That comes on the heels of a career-high 86.9, which graded out to be one of the absolute best. So the X-factor athlete for them is Dak Prescott. I want to read you now before you guys comment, then we'll get both of you. Hang on here. Here's the Eagles. Strength of the team in 24. So much went right for the Eagles during their incredible championship run. Unbelievable. The accomplishment on defense and the run offense was absolutely insane, especially the way the defense played and was elite.
They're tickling your balls there? They're tickling your balls. Okay.
The biggest weakness is passing game. Much of this burden falls on the quarterback, Jalen Hurts, who ranked
to put that Diddy invitation away.
Qualifiers and PFF passing grade, despite an outstanding final 2 games of the year. The biggest drop-off came in the drop-back game where Hurts posted a 64.6 non-play percentage and making him one of the worst passing quarterbacks in the pocket. He was tied for 27th in the NFL. First, X factor is Dak, and Pro Football Focus is saying basically they won the Super Bowl in spite of Hurts' inabilities to be able to throw the ball. Not me. That's not my take. That's kind of where they went. Is Dak Prescott the X factor this year for the Cowboys?
Yes, because name me a team that upgraded the quarterback more than Dak Prescott. The Cowboys. Literally, you're going from Cooper Rush to Dak Prescott. Name a free agent quarterback that's gone to another team that can have a bigger impact than that.
Look at Philly.
Seriously. Say what you will about Dak in the playoffs and stuff. From Cooper Rush to Dak Prescott, you've got the Steelers hoping that they can get old-ass Aaron Rodgers, right? Did they upgrade their quarterback?
No.
Do you look at Seattle saying that they went from Geno to Sam Darnold, that's a bigger upgrade?
So this is the biggest upgrade in your eyes. The NFL at quarterback is in Dallas because they're getting Dak back.
If he's healthy and can play the whole season, yes.
PFF says he's an X-factor athlete. Now Philly, what do you make of PFF and that assessment of Jalen Hurts?
Don't say nothing about Jalen Hurts.
It's the inability to be able to
his inability to go out and make the throws when he has to, the inability to beat the Ravens, to beat the Steelers, to beat the Chiefs, to beat the Rams. His inability. I mean, come on, it's played out. It's played out. It's so ridiculous. The guy went out and won an MVP.
You think he played? You think he played great last year?
I think he played good. Yeah, I think he played well enough. And I think he played really good in the playoffs. That's where I really like what he did. I thought he was
Packer
really
game. You thought he played well?
I thought he played good in the Packers game. And then in the Rams game was
90 yards net passing.
I don't remember what he had net passing, but I know he came out and we went right down. He struck first. Jahan Dotson, touchdown, bing, bang, boom. It's already over. You know what I'm saying? Then you go the Rams game, snow. He was banged up in that game too. That's a hard game to judge, the passing game. Washington, they just destroyed them. That game was over on the first play of the game, the first Eagles offensive play. But the Super Bowl, he was good. He was good. And if you take that, and then you take the fact that he played in the Super Bowl earlier, and he played good in that game, now I feel like you have a historical reference of him playing good in big games. That's what I want for my quarterback. It's so overblown what they're saying. Jalen Hurts is actually underrated, and it's ridiculous.
We got a couple more minutes here, so I'll ask you, what did you make of the comment of Dak Prescott being the X factor and what Mark just said? And I'll ask vice versa, you and your take on what PFF wrote about Jalen Hurts, Mark, here in a second. Is Dak Prescott the X factor in the NFL this year for the Cowboys?
I mean, look, yeah, he's better than Cooper Rush. I mean, yeah, it's easy to say, yeah, you get your quarterback back, it's going to make a big difference for your team. Let's just not change history from last year. He stunk. He stunk during the year.
Okay.
He wasn't good. They weren't. Was Dallas? No. Let me talk.
No. You know what? Screw you, man. I get tired of your bullshit. No. You don't put you cherry pick. There was nobody who played good. Nobody who played good.
You're interrupting the champ, and I got a ring.
Screw you, champ. Screw you. Screw you.
King of the Hill.
King of the Hill. King of the Hill.
Listen, I'm not saying anything bad. I'm not saying anything wrong. Was Dak great during the regular season? They weren't that good. So all I'm saying
didn't have your number two receiver. Couldn't run the football. Defense couldn't even force a freaking punt. And the only thing you say is Dak Prescott.
I mean, you're making excuses. You can't even accept anything about this guy.
Okay, so wait. So when Jalen Hurts went against Tampa Bay and lost twice, and you scored how many points? That
smell, Mark.
Oh man.
I mean, come on. There's a guy who did anything wrong. Every single thing that you talk about, you always. Can you just say, yeah, Dak wasn't great? He wasn't.
You don't recognize the difference
reasons for it? Yes, there are reasons for it.
Why do I bother? Why do I bother?
Wait. Now I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask you this here, Mark. What is your assessment on what PFF said about Jalen Hurts? That much of the burden falls on the quarterback. Again, this isn't my take. I didn't write this here. On quarterback Jalen Hurts in the step back of the passing game, it being one of the biggest weaknesses of the team. They said the biggest strength was the defense in 24.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest weakness was the quarterback in the passing game. Ranked them 23rd and 27th. What's your takeaway when you hear, like you said,
unlike Philly 500, I'm going to say that Jalen Hurts is not a bad quarterback. Okay. I didn't know. Yes, you have. Yes, you have. You constantly trash my quarterback. Stop lying. Stop freaking lying. You talk about him mercilessly. Okay, all the time.
No,
listen. We listen to the champ. Let's listen to the chump now. Okay, the chump is talking. Okay. All right. They are fortunate because the Eagles recognize putting everything on one person's hands is not a win scenario. The best thing they did is being balanced. So that way, he has confidence. When he is needed to play a game, he's not beat down and everything else. And because they have a great running game, it helps the passing game. You cannot say that he is not having an advantage having Saquon rushing for 2,000 yards when we got Rico, a guy you literally laugh about. Rico, who? Who got barely 1,000 yards. Okay? He's a good quarterback. I'm not going to say that he's not. But to say that you got a great passing attack, you don't have to have one because of the way your team's assembled. Right. Take that.
Philly, go ahead.
But here's the thing. He just answered his own question. Is Dak the X factor? Well, if Dak, and we're talking about having to have a run game to be that X factor, then he's not, because they don't have a run game. They didn't have a run game last year. I'm not saying there are not reasons for Dak Prescott to not be good or have struggles. But you can't ignore his struggles. You don't have a run game now, so what's Dak going to do?
You know, like in the military, you have bombers that are slow, that drop bombs. Then you have fighters that take care of the other guys. You have different types of weapons and different ways to win a battle. You have a quarterback and wide receivers, and you have a running game. If the only weapon we have is Dak Prescott throwing the football, then it's got to work 100% of the time. And that's an impossibility. You're going to have games when they shut down the one receiving option we had, which was CeeDee Lamb. We had chopped liver for our number 2, number 3 receivers. We didn't have a freaking running game. That was your X factor. Dak to CD. That's it. There's nothing else to rely on. If that doesn't work, you're screwed, which is what we were last year.
That's not an X factor. I don't consider that X factor. That's something that you
don't consider anything with the Cowboys. Anything.
X factor is something.
You've got this mentality. Lose Cowboys.
Listen to this guy. He sits there and he complains that last year Dak struggles because they don't have a run game, right? So then I say, well, I don't think you have a run game this year. So then he gets offended about that. I can't help it.
I will say I think we have a better run game this year, but I will say that we actually have a major improvement as our number 2, or should I say 1-1 wide receiver. Because what's going to happen now I'm going to say there's less excuses for Dak because now you have guys that can get separation. The Cowboys, one of the worst teams in separation. And if your guys can't get open and you can't run the football, it's a recipe for disaster. I don't care who it is your quarterback.
Because Philly's got a roll here, Mark, and I'm going to ask one question here.
I got 5 more, man. I got 5.
Okay, wait. I got a question for you. Well, then let me ask Mark that first, and then I'll get you, Philly. Who do you think is the best new duo in the NFL with acquisitions? Do you think it's Devontae Adams and Matthew Stafford, or do you think it's Dak Prescott and George Pickens?
He's not going to pick Cowboys.
I'm talking to you, Mark.
Oh, me?
What would you think? Yeah.
Oh, I think I'm going to say Dak and George Pickens. Dak has never had 2 wide receivers at this point in their career. Okay, he had Amari Cooper and he had CeeDee Lamb when he first got in here. But right now, you look at George Pickens. George Pickens is a guy who can get deep and get separation, and the same thing with CeeDee Lamb. That alone will help our running game because you have to worry about covering both of those guys. If one of those guys gets loose, it's 6 points. And so defensive coordinators, unlike when it's Jalen Tolbert and Jalen Brooks and the guy out of, from Walmart parking lot, you're saying, who cares if they catch him? They're not going to the house. These guys can, which changes how defensive coordinators have to play them.
Philly, I got one last question for you. Do you believe you have enough Or answer it this way. Do you believe the league has caught you guys because of all the moves that you've made? Pick one or the other. Do you think you have enough to get back to Santa Clara and to being a Super Bowl repeat champions? Or again, has the league caught you, not past you, but have they gotten closer to you because of all the question marks that you've created this offseason? Which side are you on?
I don't think teams have caught up to us. I think that maybe you can argue that some have closed the gap because of what we lost, but I don't feel like there's one team, especially coming out of the NFC, that I look and say, man, they really, really worried about them. So no, I don't think anybody caught us. But if you want to say that they closed the gap because we lost Josh Sweat and Milt Williams, I'll say at this point right now, I think that's fair. But I don't think anybody has caught us. I still think we're the best team in the league.
Finally, for you, Mark, do you think you've closed the gap on the Eagles?
Considering it was the Grand Canyon, yeah, they've gotten a little closer. Is it close?
Now what's that look like? Does that mean competitive in games? Because last year you weren't. Now, obviously, the quarterback wasn't there, and that was an issue last year. But
they'll be competitive.
Do you think you're closing the gap where you're competitive and winning and giving yourself a shot to beat them?
It's the NFC East. It's the division rivals. The Cowboys know the Eagles, and in division games, anything goes. It wouldn't surprise me if the Eagles went 2-0 against the Cowboys. Wouldn't surprise me if the Cowboys split with the Eagles. Just wouldn't.
Not 2-0 against Philly?
It wouldn't surprise me there, although I think the chances are that they end up splitting.
What about you, Philly? You split with them or you 2-0 on them?
We're sweeping their ass.
Sweeping their ass.
There it is. So this is what he's giving you, Mark. He's giving you a proclamation for September 4th, and he just said you're sweeping your ass.
I got a blue broom downstairs, all ready to go.
Guys, you guys are absolutely awesome, man. I can't thank you.
Oh, Mark, I love you, boy. Don't be upset. I'll give you a hug, buddy.
Mark, I got to tell you, man, you know what you did, Mark? You got Howard Eskin and Angelo Cataldi because they watch this stuff.
Oh, they watch us. Eagle Royalty watches this?
Angelo, you're the man. I like Angelo.
Okay.
Angelo's the man.
And they said, we want to be like that guy.
I used to listen to him 5 o'clock in the morning delivering papers.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mark. He did make $2.5 million a year for about 15 years. Do you want to be him now?
Can I hold something? Can a brother hold something?
Hey, Mark, I'll take the 0.5.
I'm serious.
Guys,
I'll take half of that, bro.
Thank you for finding time, everybody. Make sure you check both their great
Thank you for working this schedule for me.
You bet all the time, man. You guys are sensational to me. You too. Hey, Mark, thank you, bro. Don't put a puss on, man.
Thank you, Mark.
Get me and Michael Irvin together, man.
And thank you for coming here, Mark, and having to deal with real questions. Thank you, Mark.
And you know what? I answer them. Bro. I'm right here.
I know your answers are delusional as all hell, but you try.
Oh my God. I'll see you guys. Thank you guys so much, man. I appreciate you guys. Look at Mark with that puss on the way out the door. It's all right, Mark. Taking a Bobby Boucher is why Dak didn't play well last year. Was Bobby Boucher? It's just the water, and they get the water. You know, we have the water, and Dak didn't have the water, and that's why he threw 15 interceptions.
High quality H2O.
Mark's drinking the Bobby Boucher water from the Great Glacier of Alaska. They're getting the water from. There you go. Bobby Boucher's saying that Dak, he got married. He got a new kid coming on the way. Everybody, we're going to do everything we got to do.
Lord. Okay.
That's great. All right, bottom of the hour. We're going to get Xander on here too, man. You guys are great. I appreciate it. Don't forget our great friends at Morgan & Morgan.
Okay.
John Morgan was
We are out, as always. Did I see your super chat? Yes, Holly. Shout out to you, Holly. Let me read it. If Philly fell in the water, his lips would still float. If he's drowning instead of calling for help, he'd still be saying Cowboys stink. You ain't lying on that. Well, thank you, Holly. You are so sweet. I appreciate everything that you do. All right, good people. I have got some work I got to do here at the Red Brick House. I appreciate you guys being here, and we will see you guys real soon.